another video. I'm just going to do a half hour-ish, depending on how excited I get about it all, class, so that those times again where you don't have an hour available or you just want to do a quick workout. I'll give instruction as we go, but there won't be as detailed instruction just because we're stuck for time a bit more. So if you find you need more instruction, just flip over to the hour-long ones and go from there. Right then, so we're going to start standing up. As always, when you're standing up, just check above you that you're not going to take any of the light fittings out. Make sure you've got enough space, and you'll need your mat in a bit when we get down on the floor. Have some water. Ready? Okay, so standing on your mat, appropriate footwear, or no footwear, whichever you like. Roll the shoulders back and down so you're standing up nice and tall. Spread your toes. Draw your abdominals in a little bit just to support your lower back, and ease your shoulders down away from your neck. Okay, we're going to start on the neck, so you're going to tuck your chin in so you're looking down towards the floor. Then you're going to look forward and up to the ceiling. I'm just going to do about 5 of these. Remember, your neck has got the smallest bones and muscles all the way down the spine, so take your time with your neck. Particularly when you look up to the ceiling. So think about lifting your chin up rather than throwing your head back. And you're just trying to improve how much movement you've got in that neck. So do one more. And then bring your head back to centre, so it's just like your natural eye line position, and then you're turning your head from left to right. Just some rotation through the neck. Try not to dip your chin or lift it. So just imagine a shelf that you're just sliding your head on. Just a quick stretch for the side of the neck. So just going to tilt your head to one side, relax the opposite shoulder and back to centre. So just getting some mobility through the neck. Quite a lot of headaches and tension start at the neck, so if you can improve your mobility in your neck, you might get rid of headaches. Be careful on this one, it's quite a deep stretch, so don't force it. Just try and relax the shoulder down as you tilt your head away from it. More, and then we're going to just work on the shoulders. So I just want you to do a few shoulder rolls. So I want you to feel your shoulders moving across your back. Remember, you haven't got to keep turning around. I just turn around just so you get different views, so you can see what I'm doing. Now you can stay with this just to mobilise across your back, or you can bring an arm circle in. Again, just check the light fittings, and if you're okay, you're going to do a nice sweep. You can do it with your arm bent if you prefer. And I want a little bit of rotation of the shoulders, so you're starting to move through your upper back a little bit, kind of like a backstroke move. And we're going to move over to the left, so just a little reach up. And you can do it with your arm bent if you find that easier. A little rotation. So think about using the muscles in your back. Don't worry if your arm doesn't reach very high. Just feel those back muscles starting to work. And then we're going to move on to the side. So you might want your feet a little bit wider. You're going to slide your hand down and bring the opposite arm over your head. Now you need to really draw the abdominals in this one. If you do it and relax your abdominals, your back will overarch and you'll feel it in that lower back. So suck the belly in for this one. Imagine your tailbone being pulled down to the floor. Always repeat these warm-up moves again if you want to. Stop the lid and do them again. And then we're going to do some twisting. So finish that one. Bring your arms to about chest level. Relax the shoulders down and lift your torso. As if you're trying to lift out of your pelvis a little bit, and then you're going to twist. Keep your hips still. So I want the rotation to come from the shoulders moving, not the hips. Your head just follows the movement of the shoulders, so your head moves with you. Really think about using muscles in the side of your body to pull that side around. Keep your hips facing forward. Do one more each way. Okay, and then we're going to move into the hips and the lower back. So we're going to start off just a nice stretch. So hands either in the small of the back or your back pockets, wherever you feel most supported, and you're going to arch back. So you're trying to lift your chest up towards the ceiling and then look forward. So I want you to feel your front abdominals stretching as you look up, and then squeezing a little bit to bring you back to look forward again. So you're getting those top abdominals there working, and you're getting that little flexion and straightening through the back. Again, if you feel your lower back is doing too much work, pull the front abdominals tighter as you come up, and that'll almost ping you up straight. It's a good front abdominal work, this one. Better than sit-ups, and you get them working. Arching back and straightening it, and feel those abdominals switching on as you come straight, pulling you up and holding you straight. Good. Couple more. And then we'll get into a bit of hip work with our good old squats. Can't not do the squats when you're standing up. Arms out in front, roll the shoulders back and down, your arms in your balance. And you move your hips back and sit into that squat. It doesn't have to be deep, and pull yourself up. Remember, it's working from the hips and the knees. So when we get to where the hips and knees want to stop, we stop. We don't carry on with the torso, and pull yourself up. So it might only be a small squat, and that is fine. So you're bringing your hips down and then pulling yourself up straight. And use your bum muscles. When you come up straight, little bum squeeze. Sit back. Pull yourself up. Really press into your feet to stand up. Use your legs. You know when you've got this one right, because you suddenly go a bit warm. As it burns a lot, it uses a lot of muscles, and when you use muscles they generate heat. Sit. And up. One more. Sit. And up. We'll come back to them in a minute. It's just getting the legs working. So you're going to move on. A little bit of balance work. So we're going to start with just rolling through the feet. So feet about hip distance apart. And just roll into the front of your foot and roll into the back of your foot. Try not to move your hips now. So you're not sitting back into a squat. Just rolling through your feet. If you prefer to do this one barefooted, then do. But try not to claw with your toes. Keep your toes nice and relaxed. So it's good for ankle mobility. And it's also good for the lower leg and balance. Up and down. Trying to keep the torso really straight so it's not dipping and bending around on you. Use your ankles. Okay. And then we're going to do a little bit of work for the side of the legs. You're going to be standing on one leg, so if that means you need to go and grab a chair or get a bit closer to the wall for balance, then do. And what you're going to do is take your foot out to the side, bring it in, and if you're able, lift the leg. So I'll do it this way, you can see, so the leg goes out, comes in, and then you flex at the hip to lift the leg. If you don't want to lift, don't. But what we're trying to do is get a little bit of movement through that hip and a little bit of balance. So find something to look at in front of you that's not moving. Try and keep your hips square. So you feel your bum muscles working to take the leg out, and feel the front thigh muscles working to lift the leg up. Couple more. Pull that leg up. One more. And then we're going to flip to the other leg. So again, if you've got a chair, maybe move it to the other side or turn around so you're facing the wall, and then you're going to move the foot out, bring it in, and if you're able, lift it. Now I really think for the work coming from this hip, so the torso is staying as still as possible. We're zipped up, the shoulders are down, so we're using the muscles around the hip to move the leg, and the muscles along and across the spine to keep that still and stable. Check the toes on the supporting leg, that again they haven't clawed, and your weight's sort of mid-foot. Couple more. One more. Okay, I'm going to add on to that to give your legs a little bit of a shake and a rest. If that felt like that was enough strength work, you can rest. You maybe watch the next one and have a go next time you get the video on. But I'm going to get you to stand on one leg and do a bit of rotation. I know. So you're going to take the leg out, bring it in like you just did, and lift it. But this time you're going to keep it lifted. Bring your arms into that box shape and turn. So you're turning away. Come back to centre and down. Opposite leg, so it goes out, comes in, it lifts, it stays lifted, the arms fold, and you turn away. And you come back, the foot goes down, we change sides. Out, in, lift, keep it lifted, keep the spine long, fold the arms, turn. How are we doing? Can't hear any crashing, so hopefully everything's all right. Out, in, lift, fold the arms, rotate the body. Now next time we're going to take all the other bits out, so we're just going to lift the leg up. He says, finding a balance. Use the muscles in your back, and you're going to do that little twist. So you're going to turn away from the front and come back. And you're going to try that 5 times. Really lengthen through the spine. If you can't do 5, do what you can. This is not only going to improve your balance, it's also building the strength in that supporting leg. 2 more, I reckon. 1 more. And put that foot down, have a little rest. Other side, so you're going to lift the leg up, find your balance. So find your spot to look at, pull the shoulders down, press down through that supporting leg and fold your arms. When you've got your balance, you start your rotation. And this is where you find you're better on one side than the other. Check the toes aren't trying to claw, spread them out and put the weight in the middle of your foot. Use your upper back muscles, don't slouch. One more. Wobble, wobble. Well done. And give yourself a little bit of a shake. Well done. Right, I promised a bit more squatting, so that's where that comes in next. You still see me, I haven't disappeared off the screen. Okay, so we're going to do a squat. We're going to bring it into plank, and then we're going to come back up. So if you start a little bit closer up to the front end of your mat, because your legs are going to scoot out behind. Okay, so into your squat, sit down. A little bit lower if you can through your hips, and then put your hands on the floor. So you'll feel your bum go up a bit. Straighten your right leg out, straighten your left leg. Push through the hands, stretch through to the heels. Lift your hips a little bit higher if you need to, and then bring your feet back in. And you want your feet flat down on the floor, then you lift yourself into your squat position again and stand up. And again, so squat. A little bit lower if you can, so I don't want you to flex your spine, and put your hands down on the floor so your bum goes up. One leg out, other leg out. Now push through the hands, push through the heels. Lift your hips a bit higher if you need to, bring your feet back in. Weight on your feet, up to that squat, and stand. Now we're going to do a few more of them, and I'm going to add a little bit of rotation in. It's too much, watch it, think, it's a bit much. You have a go next time when you put this vid on. Otherwise, into your squat, a little bit lower, hands to the floor, into the plank. Now you're going to bend your right knee and bring it across towards your left elbow. A little rotation of the hip. Take it back out. Same with the left. Bring the knee into the centre and twist. And twist. Lift your hips a bit higher if you need to. Bring your feet back in. Weight on your feet. Into your squat. And up. We're going to do 3 more of them. Squat. Bum up, hands down. Out into a plank. Push into your hands. Lift your hips a bit higher if you need to. Bring the knee through to the centre and then twist. Send it over to the opposite elbow. Untwist. Take it back out. Knee into the centre. Twist. You're sending the hip down to the floor. Untwist. Out to your plank. Lift your hips a bit if you need. Bring your feet back in. Up to your squat. Stand up. Phew! 2 more. Squat. Hands down. Feet out. Find your plank first. Bring the knee through. Little twist. Untwist and straighten. Other side. Knee in. Little twist. Untwist. Straighten. Lift the hips if you need. Bring your feet in. Weight on your feet. Into your squat. Get your breath. Up you come. 1 more. Tough this, ain't it? Right, squat. Hands down. Keep that back strong. Out with the feet. Push into the hands. Knee in. Rotate. Straighten and out. Last one. Bring the knee in. Twist. Untwist and out. Bum up a bit. Feet in. Up to squat. Stand up. Well done. Roll the shoulders. Excellent work. We're going to get back down on the hands and knees. Come down anywhere that's right for you. I'm going to come down in a roll just because I'm in Pilates. You come down wherever's right for you. So you bring yourself back down onto your hands and knees. I want some extension now in this hip. So I want you to straighten your right leg. Press down equal into both hands and pull your belly tight. Now you're going to use your leg strength to lift this foot off the floor. Don't let your back bend. So you're going to do 10 of these. You're just lifting the leg until you can feel your bum squeeze. Make sure you're putting some weight in this right hand. I don't want all your left hip holding all your weight. Squeeze that bum. Pull your belly away from the floor so you're not arching your back. About 10. As always, I've forgotten to count, so I'm going to do 2 more. Feel free to shout at me if I haven't done the right number. I can't hear you. And then change legs. So when you straighten the leg, just check first. Weight in both hands, pelvis square, abdominals tight, lift the foot off the floor. So what you're doing here is you're stretching the front of that hip a little bit as you squeeze your bum. Just make sure when you're moving this left leg that you've got some weight in the left hand. If all your weight's over on that right hip, it'll start to ache pretty quick. Squeeze your bum. And do 2 more. Excellent. And then we'll stretch that out. So if you sit yourself back into child's pose, and then bring yourself up and forward into 3/4 plank. So sit your hips back, really stretch those bum muscles and shoulders, let your chest drop down slightly, then pull yourself up and forward into 3/4 plank. Try not to let your belly drop to the floor, so push the floor away and squeeze your bum. Sit back. Good. Come forward. So when you come forward, feel the weight on your hands, feel yourself pulling yourself away from that floor. And then sit back, allow your hips to sink down, let your chest sink down. 2 more of these. One more. Lovely. Okay, then we're going to do some sideline work. So over you go. Put your cushion on the floor if you want to. Put your head on. Do chest open to start with. Get our breath back a bit. Breath back a bit. Legs one on top of the other, or top in front or bottom if you find that easier. Back muscles engaged. Top hand out in front, about level with the shoulder. Pull your waist in. Keep your spine long. Lift your hand up. Press gently into your legs as you rotate back. So it's the shoulders moving, not the hips. To the ceiling and down. So as you lift your arm up, feel the muscles in the back of the shoulder working. As you rotate, feel your waist working. Nice sinking through the legs. Untwist. Pull that arm down. Don't let your chest drop forward. 2 more. Reach and twist. So we're only got half an hour and we want to move the spine in all the ways we possibly can during that half hour. We want to build up strength in the shoulders, the hips, the legs. It's not a lot to ask for half hour, is it? One more of these, and Sharon's got to remember to keep count, so that's one never going to work. Lovely. Okay, then we're going to do the leg, the outer leg. So you're going to straighten that top leg, pull your waist in, and you're going to lift it to about hip height. Pull the waist in tight and try and keep a nice gap between your rib and your top hip. And then you're going to let the leg move backwards and forwards. You're not swinging from your waist. You're using the muscles in the front and back of the leg to move it. Just let it move backwards and forwards. So I want you to feel a crease appear in the front of the hip as the leg kicks forward, disappear as the leg kicks back. Bottom leg is giving you a bit of stability, so you're going to feel some work through that leg, but I want you to keep your shoulders relaxed. Just notice if this leg starts to drop down, you've got to keep it hip height, so your ankle stays about level with the side of your hip as you move it. Pull those waist in, pull the belly in. Starts to get heavy after a bit. 2 more. And then we're going to do a bit of side plank. So keep the bottom leg bent, top hand on the floor and push yourself up onto your elbow or your hand, whichever suits you better. Top leg straight, and you're going to lift your hip off the floor and reach your top arm up to the ceiling. Really lift yourself off the floor and back down. We're going to do 5 of these. You want to pull yourself up and reach your arm up and over your head if you want to. And I really want you to think about using your waist underneath you to pull you up off that floor. Arm's going to help, bottom leg's going to help, but really use your side muscles. 2 more. Smashing. Okay, and then we're going over to the side. So just move your feet to where your head was and your head to where your feet were, and we should be all right. Bring your cushion with you if you need to, or you want to. Get your legs comfy, one on top of the other or top in front. Engage the back muscles, so roll the shoulders back and down and pull the waist in and bring your arm out in front. Remember, don't overreach. Lift, use the muscles in the back of your shoulder to pull the arm up. Use your waist muscles to twist and your leg muscles to stabilise. Untwist and lower. Good. So real focus on this one is shoulder strength and that rotation. As long as you can feel that your body is twisting, you're doing it right. It doesn't matter how far your arm goes back. Draw your waist in underneath you just to keep your hips level. One more. Lovely. And then we've got this leg strength. So you're going to keep the bottom leg bent and straighten the top leg. So your foot's about level with your hip and your heel's about level with your bum, and the outside of your ankle is about level with the outside of the hip. Pull the waist in and then just like move forward and back. Doesn't have to be a big move. Remember, all we're doing here is that flexion and extension at the hip joint. Pull the waist in and feel that you are using this bottom leg for a bit of stability, and you'll start to notice this leg starts to feel a bit heavier and a bit more difficult to keep lifted. Waist muscles are tight, belly's tight. Slow down a little bit if I'm working quicker than you want to, or don't speed up too much because you start to lose the control if you're moving your leg too quickly, and it's always a sign that there might be a bit of weakness there. if you're trying to move it too quick. And you're trying to pretty much follow the same line along the wall. And you'll feel it in your bum. It starts to suddenly feel a bit heavier, that leg does. Maybe a couple more. Check you are looking forward rather than at your foot all the time, because we need the shoulders down, not hunched up. Okay, then give that a rub. You can feel that hopefully. And then we've got our side plank. So you're on your elbow or your hand. Your bottom leg is bent, your top leg is straight, hips are stacked, and then you use your underside waist muscles to pull you up off the floor. Bring your arm up and over if you want to, and back down. So although you've got these limbs on the floor helping you, really think about pulling up from the waist. Good. This is for side strength. Lift up. Pull yourself up, arm over. You don't have to do the arm over if it doesn't suit you. If it doesn't suit your shoulder, up to the ceiling is fine, or even just keep the hand down low. It's just to give you a bit extra upper back movement, but if it's not for your shoulder, it doesn't matter. How many have we done? 2 more. Screaming at me now, I've done 72, what do you want from me? Smashing. Okay, and then you're going to lie on your back. Over you go. Cushion underneath your head, especially if you're prone to go dizzy when you lie on your back. Give yourself a minute, and we'll start with some supine twist, just to try and just level up again. So arms just comfortably out to the side, knees together, feet together, relax the shoulders and twist. And now it's your hips moving, not your shoulders. So we're rotating from the lower abdominals now. Turn your head and look in the opposite direction if you want to. Take your time, have a nice stretch when it feels good for you. Good. So now we want to use these side abdominal muscles to move the hips while the shoulders stay flat to the floor. Gives them a chance to stretch out after the side plank. I'm not too good to you that I am. Oh, thanks very much, Sharon, for letting us do an exercise that stretches us out. One more each side. Smashing. Okay, now I want you to work your bum muscles and your front abdominals. So I'm going to do hip lifts with an ab curl. Remember, if you've got osteoporosis or slip disc, leave the ab curl bit out. Feet flat on the floor, heels about level with the back of your knee, knees face forward. Lift your backside off the floor, come up to a bridge. Really squeeze and push the hips up. Come back to the floor. Once your bum's down on the floor, lift your head and shoulders and curl up into a C shape. Abs tight, relax the neck. Roll the spine back to the floor. Once your head's down, hips up. So hips up. Really squeeze your bum to push up. Lower your hips down. Curl over. When you curl over, suck your belly in. You kind of come over the top. Back down. 3 more. Lift the hips. Put them down. Over. You might find you travel along the mat a little bit on this one. So always make sure your heels are nice and close to your bum before you lift, otherwise you're more prone to get cramp. Sorry about that, that's Benny. 2. 1 more. And over. Good. Into single leg kick. So I want you to bring your right leg into knee fold. Lift your left arm, keep your abdominals tight. You're going to push the right leg forward until it's straight. You're going to pull the left arm back to the side of your head. Square the shoulders, square the ribs. And then you're going to bring it back to your start position. You're going to repeat that 5 times. 4 times, so we'll do 5 in total. So that's 1. Keep the abs tight. 2. Use these front thigh muscles, pull the shoulder down. Give me 2 more. And 1 more. And then we change sides. Lift the left leg and the right arm. Square the shoulders and the hips, and keep remembering that. So as you push the leg out and pull the arm back, feel the leg muscles work, feel the upper back muscles work. No hanging with these muscles. Use them. You can even push down a little bit through your right leg if you want to feel your bum muscle work on that side. 2 more. One more. Okay, then we're going to do some sitting up work. So put your hands underneath if you want to. Push yourself up to sitting. Rest on your fingertips. Just behind you, comfortable distance behind you. Pull your shoulder blades back and down. So you'll feel your torso lift into a nice stretch. And again, try not to push down hard on your fingers. Lift yourself up out of your arms. Pull the shoulder blades together and down. Lift your torso. So you're trying to get a big lift between your bottom of your ribs and the top of your pelvis. 2 more. One more. Now you can repeat that or come into leg pull front as your last exercise. However you feel. If you're going to do the leg pull, put your hands on the floor, turned whichever way is right for you, so they're supporting your shoulders. Put your feet on the floor. You're going to pull your shoulders back and down so you feel that lift of the torso. Push into your hands and feet, lift your hips and straighten into the table. Really lift yourself up. And back down. If your shoulders don't like it, stay with the chest stretching that we were doing before. Do 5 of these to finish. So pull the shoulders back, lift up. Really push up through your hips, push down through your hands and feet. That's 2. Lift up. 3. Stay there for a few seconds. You don't want to stay there for too long because everything just locks in position, but you just want to feel that you're giving your body time to get to its maximum lift. 1 more. And the last one, we're going to stay here for 5, 4, push through your hands, push through your feet, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take your feet forward a little bit so you can comfortably come forward into a nice C-shape back, and then open out. In the air, come in. Good. 1 more. And a little twist to finish. So hand down on the floor, turn in that direction, keep your chin up, keep your back straight. And there we go, we've done. Feel free to repeat that all again, so that'll give you just over an hour. Or just use that on days where you fancy a bit of exercise but you haven't got an hour to spare. Have a good week all, and I'll be in touch soon. Bye bye.